Hey guys, so today we're going to be creating a network. We're going to set up DHCP in the router and also routing so that each, this will be like VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So we want them to be able to ping each other, and they can only ping each other by going through the router because they are different sub networks. So the goal is to set up DHCP and have each PC automatically get their own IPs. And I think, yeah, that's it. So let's start. So I have all my notes because this is a long lab. So these are all my notes here. It's a very long lab, so let's get to it. So first we're going to, excuse me. So first we're going to put the router, then we'll put a switch. Then we'll put two PCs. Two PCs, and then we will connect these with a, I think it's a crossover cable. And crossover cables are used for similar devices that are similar, and straight throughs for devices that aren't. So let's do that. Then connect this. Just connecting the Ethernet with the straight through cable. Okay, that's it. As you can see, these ports are down, but we'll switch them on because router ports are automatically down when you set up the router. Excuse me. So let's just do a bit of artwork. I'm doing this. Let's fill no outline. Let's do that. Then for this one, let's do this. Then we'll make this one 192. We're just planning out the network IDs. Dot 2.0. Okay. Yeah. So these are our network IDs. So now let me look at my notes. The first thing we're going to do is in the router, we are going to go to the CLI, press enter, type enable or EN. Then we're going to create two DHCP pools, which are just two DHCP IP pools that DHCP we use to hand out IPs to our devices on the network. So let's say conf T, which means configured terminal. So in short, it's just conf T. So we'll say IP DHCP pool, and then we want to call this pool a net 10. And then we're going to specify the network ID. And that's the subnet mask, which is /24. So network 192.168.1.0, and then 255.255.255.0. And then we're setting the default default router as 192.168.1.1, and then we'll just say exit, and we'll create another DHCP pool, and we'll call this net 20. So network 192.168.2.0, and then 255.255.255.0. Then we'll say the default router is 192.168.2.1, and then exit. And then we'll say do WR, which is just excuse me, writing to the memory. And then from there, so then from there we're going to do encapsulation. So we're going to create so as you can see, we only have one port connected to the switch. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into sub interfaces. So this is one interface. We're going to create sub interfaces so that different traffic can go through here. So we'll say interface or INT for short. And let me just go to options, preferences, and click show port labels so that I can see what my ports are. Let's go back here. So interface gig 0/0/0, and then we'll say 0/0.10, and that .10 represents VLAN 10. And then we'll say encapsulation dot 10. So encapsulation refers to the process of wrapping data with additional protocol information, and the .1Q is IEEE protocol. It's called the 802.1Q protocol, which is the standard for VLAN tagging on Ethernet networks. And this just allows us to send multiple VLAN traffic on a single interface, single physical interface. And then the 10 just represents the VLAN ID. Okay. Then we're going to set the IP address. IP address 192.168.1.1, and then 255.255.255.0, and then we will exit. Let's just say do right. Then let's set up the other sub interface, GIG 0/0/0.20. Then we'll say encapsulation .1Q 20, then IP address 192.168.2.1, and then 255.255.255.0, and then you will exit this and just write to the memory. Then we'll say interface GIG 0/0/0, and then we'll say no shut, because it'll shut down. So we're saying no, don't shut it down. We want the opposite of that, which is up. So after that, we will say end, which takes us to the beginning, and we'll say show running config. And as you can see, in the running config, we have our host name, which is router, We have our first DHCP pool here and our second DHCP pool. And then let's see, as you can see here, this interface 0/0/0 was broken up into 2.10 and .20, and we've given them each IPs. Yeah. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our switch. But before we go to our switch, let me show you my PC. As you can see, if I select DHCP, you see it says 1169, which means we aren't getting any information from DHCP. Even down here, see the same thing. So on the switch, we're going to create our two VLANs. We'll call it marketing and sales. Then we're going to create access ports and trunk ports and all that. So let's just do one by one. So on the CLI, we click EN, which is enable. Then we say configure terminal. And we say VLAN 10. Then we'll say name marketing. Then we'll go, let's see, VLAN 20. And say name sales. Name sales. And now if I do show VLAN brief, as you can see, we have marketing and sales here, which are active. So now all we need to do is put the correct ports in the correct VLANs, connect the correct ports to them. So what we have to do is, so VLAN 10 will be up here, VLAN 20 will be down here. So let's start with VLAN 10. So for VLAN 10, we will do this. So we'll say let's do exit. We'll say interface int for short, and let's start with interface FA 0/2. Let's go here. Interface FA 0/2. And from there we'll say switch port mode access. Access just means that only you're assigning basically one VLAN to the port. So we'll say switch port access VLAN 10. And then for that other interface, we'll say interface FA see here 0/3. We'll say switch port mode access, and then switch port access VLAN 10. Okay, so we have both these on VLAN 10, and as you can see, when we put them on a different VLAN, the port like restarts itself. Let's go back here. Now let's do show VLAN brief. And as you can see, marketing, now we have two ports inside here compared to before. So let's also do that for sales. So interface, let's see, FA4 and FA5. Well, that's my image. Okay, interface FA0/4 switch port mode access, then switch port access, switch port access VLAN 20, and then interface 5 switch port mode access, and I'll say VLAN 20. As you can see, they're both restarting. So now if I do show VLAN brief, as you can see, they're both in their own VLANs. So now that we've done all of that, so now everything is set up. The only thing that we need to do now is turn this interface into trunk. So trunk allows multiple VLANs to go through a physical interface. So we do that by selecting the interface. So let's do end. We'll say conf t interface, say FA0/1, then we'll go switch port mode trunk, and then switch port trunk allowed. So we're saying which VLANs are allowed. VLAN 10, 20. And then we'll go exit. And we'll say do writes, just write to memory, so that when we start up the lab again, all our settings will be saved. And now if we did everything right, this should give us an IP. Let's see. Okay, as we can see, that didn't work. Let's see with this one. Okay, so we got an IP for this one. What about this one? Let's see. Okay, we've got an IP for this one, so let's see this one again. Oh, we've got our IP, so everything is working perfectly. As you can see, everything is working perfectly. So now let's ping. Let's see this. So PC0's IP. Let me make this smaller. Okay, so PC0's IP, which is here, is 192.168.1.3, and PC3's IP is 192.168.2.3. So let's go to desktop, command prompt, let's ping 192.168.1.3. Search for it. And as you can see, it was successfully able to go through the router and to that network. And that's the lab for today. We were able to set up DHCP and VLANs and set up our access ports and trunk ports. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.